Yo, what is going on, my fellow monsters and hunters of share? God's Killer here, bringing you guys, of course, some more Evolve. Patch 8.0 is here, and in this video, I'm pretty much going to be reading some of the patch notes for you guys, discussing some of the stuff that's going on with this new patch that should be live for all platforms. So if that sounds interesting to you, do stay around and watch the whole video. And of course, the Kala gameplay will be coming here soon, guys. I figured I would talk about the patch because I know a lot of people that make Evolve videos probably won't talk about the patch notes other than the fact that the patch came out. So figure I try to do you guys a service to talk about some of the interesting things that come with this patch. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First, let's start off with the new content. For the new content, we have, of course, Kala, the new support, and Elder Kraken. Now look at this thing. Man, he just looks freaking weird, doesn't he? And I don't mean weird in a bad way. I mean, he looks genuinely freaking cool. I wasn't sure what they were going to do with that new Kraken as far as looks, but he looks pretty crazy. Now, there's no official release date on Elder Kraken, but I'm sure he will be available to play here soon, probably in a week or so time. They usually do this. They will release the new character like E.M.E.T or Kala or whoever, and then shortly after come out with the new variant character in a week or so time. So prepare to be playing as Elder Kraken or running away from Elder Kraken. One of the two. But now let's move on to some of the bug fixes, and they did plenty of bug fixing with this patch, but I'm only going to point out some of the more interesting ones like this. Fix reviving players becoming stuck or falling through the world. Now, I'm glad that they fixed this, and I will be honest to say I haven't experienced this bug, at least not lately. You know, they used to happen a lot back towards the beginning when I was playing Evolve, but now I don't really experience it. But the fact that it's still there is kind of, I don't know why it's still there after all this time, but I'm glad they fixed it anyway. That's good to know that things like this aren't just being overlooked or can't be fixed at all, because sometimes when we see a bug in there for so long of time, we're thinking, okay, this obviously can't be fixed, but it's good to know that this bug is something that actually can be fixed. Now let's move on to character specific bug fixes, starting off with good old Cabot. Fix damage amp, sometimes amping attacks immediately after the amp is turned off. Kyron, healing grenades no longer rumble the controller. E.M.E.T. E.M.E.T got a lot of bug fixes, which I won't be reading off because I don't want to spend too much time on E.M.E.T, but he has some fixes like fix the crash that would occur when respawn beacon. Body now turns to robot corpse instead of human corpse. I never actually seen that happen, but apparently that was a thing. Updated gameplay tips loading screens to be more accurate. And he has many more stuff as far as like things of healing buoy master challenge text being more clear and stuff like that. Link will be in the description if you want to read everything in detail. Hide. Fix reload speed perk not working for toxic grenade. Never knew that was the issue, but apparently it is, and I'm glad it's fixed. Jack, survey satellite will no longer be destroyed by friendly fire. That's a big no-no right there, but again, I'm glad that's something that was fixed. Linux, fix an exploit related to plasma lance. And now Slim, added. Fix the issue where leeches would get lost by changing Slim's heal burst cost to 0.001 seconds from 5 seconds. Now, I'm glad they're working on Slim because Slim, I have to say, character-wise, he's my favorite medic. But he has fallen from grace. You know, he used to be really good when he first came out, but now he's, well, he's getting better now. We will continue to talk about Slim later on in this video because this is not the only fix that he got. But anyways, let's move on to Tech Sergeant Hank. Tech Sergeant Hank actually got a few bug fixes, like Shield Charger now works properly with Linux and Daisy. Fix the orbital drill displaying the wrong weapon name while using it in game. Fix orbital drill audio not playing correctly on occasion. Updating text instances of laser cannon being referred to incorrectly. Fix for Tech Sergeant Hank weapon camo appearing on regular Hank's weapon while viewing Hank in character select UI. Now I have seen the last one sometimes where you pick regular Hank and you have like the camouflage one. Now one thing that I'm surprised about is that they didn't fix the issue where cloak players still have the blue shield around them. Like when Tech Sergeant Hank shields somebody, that blue, or I guess aura if you want to call it that, still stays around them even if they're cloaked. Now maybe this is something that was overlooked or not even a bug at all. Maybe this is something that they intended for, but yeah, it's just weird that they wouldn't get fixed. Kind of seems a little bit unfair, but yeah, maybe you guys have an opinion on that. But anyways, let's move on to the next character, Wasteland Maggie. Fixed a bug that could make Flame Snare take longer to reload. Torvald fixed shotgun sounds getting stuck under certain conditions. I'm glad to hear that they fixed that because it's super annoying when you shoot Torvald's shotgun a couple of times and then next thing you know, all you hearing is Torvald's shotgun for the rest of the game, just do. And I know my sound impressions are just the best thing you ever heard. You guys get what I'm saying? It's just super annoying, and I'm glad that's something they finally took care of. So GG to you, Turtle Rock. But anyways, let's move on to some monster bug fixes. Now these few fixes are for all the monsters. Fix monsters pushing hunters or themselves through the world with melee finisher attacks. Fix animation sync problem when monsters cycle abilities quickly. Possible fix for cases of invisible walls blocking monsters from moving through the normal areas of the maps. Movement speed perk and buff now work appropriately while slowed by Tranks or stasis effect. Didn't even know that was an issue. I really like the movement speed perk and buff, so I'm glad that they have it working properly. Excuse me. Breathing sounds now have standardized range of 20 meters for all monsters. Now let's go on to the Gorgon fixes. Fix a bug where Gorgon could continue to take burn damage done to the Mimic. Glad that that's fixed. Traversal play more smoothly in low latency games. Fix level 3 spider trap doing incorrect initial damage. Now it's 366 was 266. Kraken. Fix audio not playing correctly during death sequences. Meteor Goliath. Improve pause menu ability descriptions. Fix for skip part of rock throw animation. Wraith. Fix instances of Wraith's abduction causing players to fall through the map. Didn't even know that was a thing, but hey, another fixed bug. Good. But anyways, guys, those was most of the character-specific bug fixes. Now let's move on to the balance adjustments. Starting off with good old Tier 1 Markov. Arc Mines. Damage increased to 675, was 600. And his lightning gun range was increased to 25 meters, was 22.5. I'm glad that they're actually trying to focus on making the original Markov better because for a while, at least in my opinion, I feel like Blitz Markov was becoming a better pick than regular Markov just because he has some clear advantages. He's just a lot stronger. So I'm glad that they're at least focusing on regular Markov to make him not get completely outclassed by his variant counterpart. Linux, Plasma Lance, level 1 damage reduced to 90, was 100. Level 2 damage reduced to 180, was 200. Level 3 damage reduced to 270, was 300. And level 4 damage reduced to 360, was 400. So Linux pretty much got a nerf. Crow's Stasis Gun, rapid and charge shot projectile speed increased to 250 meters per second, was 80. Jack's Survey Satellite, damage reduced to 500, was 675, so this was a nerf. Dual Pistols, damage reduced to 34, was 36, so a slight nerf right there. Kyra's Hillburst, cooldown reduced to 18 seconds, was 20. That's good to hear because Kyra was kind of getting put on the bench, if you know, so to speak. She kind of was getting overlooked by Val, so it's good to see that maybe this might actually help her out. And now Slim, like I said earlier in the video, we was going to talk about Slim later. Slim got a really significant change, and that is his leech gun. Changed to fully automatic. Fire rate reduced to 210 rounds per second, was 240. Now the significant change is that his gun is fully automatic now, so you don't have to keep pulling the trigger, whatever platform you're playing on, or clicking on the mouse button. All you have to do is hold it down now, so essentially you can actually get your hill bursts a lot faster now. So this is a really significant change that might end up making Slim pretty good. It's hard to say. But anyways, let's move on to our next medic, our friendly loving robot E.M.E.T. Replay Cannon. Tracker shot damage reduced to 45, was 65. Homing shot damage reduced to 45, was 49. So E.M.E.T kind of got a nerf when it comes to his damage. And for a medic, he could do a significant amount of damage, so it was probably needed. Now, Sunny. Jetpack booster, capacity reduced to 70, was 100. Jetpack boost value reduced to 40%, was 50%. Mini nuke grenade launcher, damage reduced to 165, was 75. Shield drone, health reduced to 250, was 300. So Sunny just got the nerf hammer. They had to nerf her down, and you know what? It's probably needed. As much as I like Sunny, she's my favorite support to play as, alongside with Bucket too. Sunny is really powerful. If anything, I would say that she probably is, or was, I should say, the best support. Hank is pretty good, but I just felt like Sunny had more useful tools. And against a good team, if you were playing Monster, Sunny would just, if she was on the top of things, you will always get always have constant damage or tranks or stasis on you all the time. So it's probably was needed. Sorry, Sunny, but you had to get taken down just a little bit. And now for the last character, Blitz Markov. His Tesla mines now have an increased glow, so they're easier to see, which was needed because sometimes you can't even see a gold mine until it was too late when you come around the corner and you take a lot of damage. So that was definitely needed. But anyways, that was the last Hunter characters. Let's move on to the monsters. Now I'm actually surprised because not a lot of monsters actually got nerfs or buffs, just really two, and that is Meteor Goliath and Gorgon. Let's start off with Meteor Goliath. The only change that he got was burn duration increased to 6, was 5, so that was a slight buff. And now Gorgon, Spider Trap. Level 1 damage per second reduced to 40, was 62. Level 2 was reduced to 41, was 62. And level 3 was reduced to 44, was 60. So Spider Trap got nerfed. Acid Spit. Level 1 duration reduced to 3.8 seconds, was 4.8 seconds. Level 2 duration reduced to 4.6 seconds, was 6 seconds. And level 3 duration reduced to 6 seconds, was 7.8. So Acid Spit got the nerf hammer as well. And now let's talk about a move that actually needed a buff, which was Mimic, and they actually give it to her. Level 1 Gorgon break health increased to 320, was 200. Level 2 was increased to 400, was 200. And level 3 was increased to 520, was 200. Now, what they're talking about here is how many shots Gorgon can actually take, or how much damage she can take while she's using Mimic herself. So it used to be able to shoot Gorgon a few times and the Mimic would disappear pretty quick, but now they increased that health, so Mimic is going to be more of a viable move, especially in front of the Hunters. I mean, if they're still shooting at you, the Mimic is going to disappear. It's just going to be harder now. And guys, these are pretty much some of the more important patch notes. Hopefully you thought that this video was informative, and hope that you give it a thumbs up. And if you're a new viewer, I hope you consider subscribing. But until next time, you guys take it easy. Laters.